Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Now, I personally love The Dragon Prince on Netflix, and a new season just dropped a few weeks ago, so I want to talk about it. Now, going into this, I didn't watch like 95% of the promo material that came out because I wanted to go in blind and not know what to expect. With all that being said, let's get into it. So, what is the plot about? Well, the main plot is we jump forward 2 years after the events of season 3, and the main plot revolves around Erebos, the new villain, aka the evil guy from the mirror in the last 3 seasons, as both the heroes and villains race to find out where his magical prison is. Claudia has just revived Viren, but the spell isn't permanent yet and he'll die again after 30 days. So they want to free Erebos because he supposedly has the magic that will make Viren's revival spell permanent. As for the good guys, Cal, Rayla, Ezrin, Soren, along with, of course, Zim and Bait, we love cute animals. They race to find out where Erebos' prison is to either try to defeat him or to just reinforce the prison. I forget which it is. Yeah. Now, as for subplots, there are two that take center stage this season. The first is with the Fire Elf Queen Janai and the Warrior Lady Amaya finally getting engaged and soon will marry. The Fire Elf's Queen brother is not happy about this arrangement at all. Not because he's homophobic, but because he sees the integration of humans into elf society as destroying their culture and way of life. So he plans a coup against his sister. Of course, he is defeated because lesbians are baddies and is taken off to jail while the Elf Queen starts to figure out how she wants to rule her people. The second main plot is about Cal and Rayla and them not being able to communicate at all. As stated before, it's been 2 years since season 3, and these two have not seen or heard from each other once. Cal is heartbroken over his girlfriend just disappearing into thin air, so when Rayla does come back into the picture of the season, it's extremely awkward between them at first, and in the middle, and then at the end, because neither of them want to hash things out. So, with a general overview of what's going on this season, what are my thoughts on the events of this season? Well, my thoughts on the main plot are I felt like some episodes were filler, to be honest. Like, I get the plot moves very slowly in this show, see season 1, for example, but it always felt like there was a purpose to the slow pacing. But some of the antics of this season, like Soren getting kidnapped by the Dragon Tamers or spending 2 to 3 episodes on the arrival of the Dragon Queen to Katalis, some things felt like they happened just to pad out the episode count. Truly, I feel like this season was mainly about reintroducing the characters and establishing the new situation with Erebos, mainly setting up for the rest of the arc in future seasons, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but it did just leave me feeling a little meh about this season. As for the Queen Janai subplot, ooh, I was invested from the start to finish with this subplot. First of all, I have shipped Janai and Amaya from the beginning of season 2 or whenever the Sun Elves were introduced. So seeing them finally get together and get engaged made me so excited. Second of all, the events were just so interesting to me. I love political rivalry in fiction, and most of this plotline was about that. And I honestly hope we get even more of that in future seasons with other characters and factions that want to try and take down the sun goddess. But then find out the hard way that you can't take down a bad bitch. Also, the fight between the Sun Queen and her brother. Did y'all notice how it started in the early morning and ended in the late evening? I'm sorry, the image of them just circling each other all day long because he was too scared to fight her and she didn't want to fight him is just so funny to me. Like, I just imagine the people off to the sides watching them circle each other for hours and hours and hours, going like, "Oh my God, will you two just fight already? Someone kill someone, please, so we can all go home." I'm sorry, the image of that is just so funny to me. But yes, I loved this plot line. I absolutely love this plot line. And the relationship drama subplot. Bored. Sorry, I was not interested and just wanted to scream at Cal and Rayla and just tell them to talk. Here's the thing. Y'all that eat up the miscommunication trope with straight people probably loved this and were rooting for them to work things out. But I personally don't care about the dating lives of teenagers, or straight people, or when a problem can just be solved by a long talk and the characters refuse to have that talk. If they don't just talk for like half an episode next season, I'm jumping through the screen and locking them both in a cave alone somewhere just so we can end this plot line and have Cal and Rayla go back to being fun partners in crime again. Because I can't with this boring ass miscommunication plotline anymore. Like, please, I've suffered enough. Move on. Just have them talk. Please move on. Now, what about my character thoughts? I love talking about characters, so let's talk about characters. Now, my thoughts on the characters are going to mainly be about what I think will happen or what I'd like to happen, because I feel like season 4 was, again, mainly a reintroduction to everyone and what they've been up to in the last 2 years. That being said, I do have a few thoughts about what they did in this season, namely Cal. He was a little bitch this season, I'll say it. Loved the new outfit and hair, but sorry, he was annoying this season and I wanted to strangle him every time he blew off Rayla. Like, I get she broke your heart by quietly leaving and not being seen or heard from in 2 years, but at some point you gotta get over your ego and hash things out with her. Like, you can't be mad at her 24/7 while she's making an effort to be here and involved again, and also whine about your relationship while not wanting to talk about it at all with her. Be serious, boy. Anyway, the whole thing about him possibly getting possessed in future seasons by Erebos, that didn't excite me. Sorry. That should have excited me so much, but I don't know, something about it just didn't really interest me. I don't know if it's because I'm mad at him this season, or because I know in the end he'll be redeemed or reject the dark side, or because I'd rather Erebos possess Claudia because I find her more interesting as a villain. I don't know, that whole possession thing that they were setting up just didn't get me going. Next up, Rayla. First of all, when Erebos was taunting everyone and called her the assassin that can't kill anyone, he gagged her. Yeah, I was like, oh, somebody finally said it. Because, ma'am, stop trying to fool yourself saying you're an assassin or a hunter because you wouldn't even kill a bug, please. Getting that off my chest, I liked her the same as usual. I find her cool, but I was kind of sad we didn't really get much development for her this season. I want to know if she's still banished from the elf village and whatnot, and we just didn't get anything about her or her adventures in the past 2 years. I mean, yeah, we were told that, like, she's been looking for Claudia in Buren's body for the past 2 years, but, like, other than that, didn't really get much about her or what she's been up to. I mean, also, I don't really know where they're gonna take her in this arc. Like, I can't get a feel for how her story will go like I can the other characters. Yeah, her and Cal need to address things, and she's going to try and free the souls of her loved ones from those coins if Claudia was even telling the truth about that. But I really don't know what is being set up for her or what the end game for her is. I don't know. I don't know, but I like her, so Ezrin. It's still wild to me that the kingdom made a literal child their king. But he seems to be ruling well, I'll give him that. Honestly, I think he'll be a good king as he gets older, and I think the events in the upcoming seasons will only strengthen his current values and make him an even better leader. Also, Zim and Bait are adorable like always, loved them. Now for Soren. Same as always. The comic relief that is likable yet cringy. I think he'll have a more interesting presence in the story in the next season now that the gang knows Viren lives and Claudia is on a mission to free Erebos. Hopefully, they'll do something interesting with him. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let's move on to Claudia. I'm excited for what she's going to do next. I've always liked her and wanted to see her be a more prominent threat to the heroes and story, and I think we're finally there. I feel like she could potentially go insane, for lack of better words, during this arc and possibly have everyone closest to her turn against her and be left alone with Erebos as her only ally. Or maybe he turns against her also and she just fully snaps and goes on a rampage to destroy everyone. No, I don't see her ever being redeemed, nor do I really want that either. I find her an interesting villain. Having said all that, when she went on her little racist monologue about elves being evil, I wanted to fight her. I want to fight her after that because A, she's wrong for that, and B, I just know that's going to come up in a fight with her boyfriend sometime down the line. And she better not harm that king of plants or be like, well, you're not like the other elves. You're a good one. Or I will jump through the screen and fight her right then and there. Now for Varen. The ending of this season left me disappointed with Viren. At the start of the season, when he's having this whole thing of, I only have 30 days to live, do I really want to spend even more of my life chasing after more power? Or is it finally time to just stop and just be there for myself and those I love? Blah, 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 blah. That was really interesting, and I was looking forward to what they were going to do with that. I honestly thought they were going to give him more depth as a character and even add some tension for Claudia with him just wanting to live out his days peacefully and her diving more and more into madness because he won't follow her plan willingly. But then the final scene happened with his eyes glowing and that evil smile on his face, and I was like, oh, we're back to this again. So that leaves me a little disappointed for what's to come of him next season. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and misread that last scene, or maybe they'll do something cool with him being evil again. I just want something new for him, especially since now we have both Erebos and Claudia to fulfill the main villain role after 3 seasons. Like, please move on. Please, please do something different with him. Move on. Thank you. On to Terry, the new addition to this cast and Claudia's boyfriend. He's sweet and adorable and has a heart of gold, even though he's on Team Evil right now. I truly believe him and Claudia will have a huge falling out in either season 5 or 6, or however many seasons there are to this plotline, that will dramatically alter their character journeys. Seeing him geeking out about plants is both cute and cringy, but we love nerds, so it's fine. Also, he's trans, so he gets plus 10 points. We love that for him. The Dragon Queen. All right, I'm throwing this one in here because she's iconic. That's all I gotta say. And I love the scene where the grumpy old dragon came out of his cave and like roared in her face. And she was like, look, bitch, I can do that too. And roared even harder back at him. That was funny. That's all I have to say. Like, okay, she's iconic. Let's move on. Janai. I could watch a whole spin off show about her and her adventures with her wife. Loki, I was more interested in what was going on with the cultural divide and the attempted coup than I was in the main plot. Anyway, I love her. So excited to see what her and Amaya's storyline will be in the future arc. I want to see them get married. I want to see the Sun Queen grow as a leader for her people and lead them into a new beginning. I want to know if she has any more political rivals and how she'll deal with them. So excited for what's in store for her. And finally, Miss Amaya. I felt like she was ultimately relegated to a lesbian housewife this season, which there's nothing wrong with that. We love that for her. She didn't do a whole lot, and I hope she's more proactive in future seasons. Here's the thing with Amaya. I like her. I've always liked her. I love her relationship with Janai, but I've always felt like she's been directionless in the story. I've always felt like she's just kind of there. Like, yeah, she'll kick people's asses when the time is needed, but she never seems to be the one pushing any of the plots forward, and the season wasn't really different besides that speech she gave at the court trial. I don't know, I just hope she gets to really do something important in future seasons, especially now that she's going to become queen consort when she marries Janai. Overall, I enjoyed season 4 and I'm really looking forward to what is being set up for the rest of this arc. Yes, some things annoyed me and bored me, but I'm having fun so far and want to know what Erebos' endgame is and how future confrontations will go. Anyway, that's basically all my thoughts on this season and what I think slash hope will happen in season 5 and so on. I really liked how the first arc ended, and I'm really excited for this new plot with Erebos and whatnot. But what are your thoughts? Do you like season 4 and are excited for the rest of this upcoming arc, or were you left disappointed and think the show should have ended after season 3? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, then consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. Bye!